chose to do otherwise. He chose to act on his own outside of his authority, which is stated in Jones versus State. He is then not police. So the federal government or any agency that is backing him cannot back him because his actions are illegal. So if they want to do that, that's fine. Whatever this lady name is, whatever she says, whatever, we'll just write it down. It just goes to a federal marshal. She just gets arrested for the federal crimes that they willingly done in association with this police who clearly by the law, the precedent in American jurisprudence that says he acted outside his capacity, assaulted me, abused me, and now some kangaroo court wants me to say I'm guilty of sitting on a bench and someone abusing me. Not to mention, I don't live here. I don't do business here. I have no registered residence. I don't pay taxes. I don't vote. That's personal jurisdiction again. By law, I'm not connected. So they need to get an extradition paper from my tribe, that's the Many Lebanese tribe, that is an Iroquois nation. I'm a Washita Moor. I can tell you the title of switching inheritance. They will not use a statue of a dead person against me in a court of law. But I'm telling you, that is against federal law. And since you agree that Maricopa County, which is in Pima County, it belongs to the Pima tribe, if I'm going to be tried and prosecuted there, my tribe has to say it's okay. And it's not an Article 3, Section 2 court. There's no court warrant of it. I'm already about to talk to the sheriff to let him know somebody is filing false charges in his community. And that's after I've already called the Justice Department and calling the FBI later. So if this woman think I'm playing, that they're going to keep lying and prevaricating, that's fine. Just keep making records of it. I'm fine with that. Keep writing it down. Time and date stamp. Write down all the statutes and codes that do not apply, that do not take precedent over law. And I'm telling you, the law says the man broke the law. So no, I'm not entering no plea. I don't care how many times this woman offers this. It's to prevaricate the fact the man did police brutality. His knee on my skull is outside of regular police procedure. I have the manual myself. I'll be more than happy to have police officers I've interacted with come here as my witness and tell you that is not the procedure I know to be police, and that is defined as abuse. So if they want to go ahead with this, hey, feel free. Feel free. But I like to know how you're going to get the consent, because I'm going on record saying I'm not making no contracts with you. So I'm not validating anything. I'm going on record and saying my constitutional rights were violated. Now, if you want to go proceed with that, they can go ahead. It's just know that the Justice Department has been notified. So I'm building my case. Feel free. Like I said, they keep trying to use you to act like this is anything legal. We don't have no paperwork, there's no obligation. There's nothing. I appreciate it. As an amicus curiae, friend of the court, whatever you want to call yourself, that's fine. But I'm not signing any contracts that says I do business in the state of Arizona. It will remain as an illegal act. I shall leave it as an illegal and illegitimate and unlawful act inside the jurisdiction you agreed to as U.S. citizens. They broke the law. They want to continue breaking law, that's their business. I don't do business with criminals. There was no warrant. There was no reason for my detainment. Indictments have to be signed and sealed from a court clerk. It's a stamp. It's an election year. I'm going to go get the oath of office. That has to be there for this person. And then they're going to get a subpoena from a federal court at a minimum to answer why has this came from your office with a stamp when all indictments got to be signed with ink. And a raised seal. A stamp is not sufficient. And the computer can do that. It has to come be generated by a person. I keep telling you, I'm very competent in law. Very competent. So these illegal acts have been all recorded. They shall be reported to the federal government. People are going to get disbarred. There's going to be federal charges for whatever it fits. Human trafficking, hostage taking, threat making. There are SEC violations that are going to be reported. But for anybody think they're going to drag my state to some court and prevaricate and charge me as a criminal when I did not produce a criminal act. It is in their best interest to dismiss this case, and I'll go after the person civilly. But no one holds me as sovereign of the land, not a U.S. citizen, in no one's jail under a false name, and deny me my liberties, guaranteed by the company or whatever you call it, the American government, that this kind of does not happen. And if it does, there's a remedy. Offer me a deal where I'm guilty of nothing. There's not a remedy. That's not even reasonable. Reasonable care in an abandoned building, eating 2 times a day below the federal standard, when that was what produced a new jail? I was okay with that? Show me the signature. I will be demanding to see the signatures. Where's the writ of removal? Where's the writ of mandamus? Where's everything that makes this a legitimate case versus she's talking about corporate bylaw? That's what she keeps saying. Corporate bylaw. Bylaw of an Arizona corporation. That's a corpse. I'm not dead. I don't do business here. I'm not connected to these people. So she can keep saying bylaw in court, making a record of it, but make sure she says that to the feds, because I will be sequestering those records. When I kept saying I'm not in custody, and those who say I'm in custody are now aiding and abetting, because custody has to be established by a warrant and an affidavit, and there is a record of it, and I must be shown it. That's the law. Every person who took an oath to the law knows that's law. Not a statute, not a code, not a policy. It doesn't apply. So no, not side enough. I don't care if she wants to ease her account. She can offer it all she wants. That's nice. That's her easy way out. Other than that, she's going to have to stand on her decision to open case, have a poison case that has misinformation, clear lies, even discriminatory, calling me black. He's going to have to prove I'm black. Not black. What's the DNA sequence of a black person? Because I know my DNA sequence, and I'll be glad to say it in court. Expert on myself. That's what makes me sovereign. I'm glad to have my tribe file federal papers with the Justice Department, if I'm even bothered to be on trial. I'm fine with that too. I'm fine with the person sitting there saying I could be put on trial that doesn't even have a jurisdiction, that gave a fictitious address already, that did not even show me the certificate of full registry, haven't proven anything, and trying to get me to a de facto jury in a de facto court under de facto law that is not official. I will only agree, and it's going on record again, for de jure, for common law, for actual law. That is my right. That is what the Sixth Amendment is for. Other than that, everybody's violating the Sixth Amendment. That will be told to the Department of Justice. Now that I'll do in a federal deposition. And everybody can be present. They can be there when I do it. Versus someone doing it for me like I'm a child and don't understand the legal process. When I'm not a ward, I'm not a child, and I do not need anyone to decide anything. If there's a day in court, there are certain documentations, checks and balances that must be in place. Therefore, I can sign a contract, I can give consent. Other than that, they're trying to go through you, and that's the case. It's going to go on record. Where's the contract? Show me where I signed it at. Because I'm not incompetent since we sent me through competency court. I'm highly competent. So if I say it ain't no contract, it ain't no contract. You know that's collusion? You know that opens your office up to being sued? As an entity, it can be sued. It can't come to court as a living being. So again, this person didn't accuse me of anything. Since you want to pick up the accusations, that's accessory after the fact. And I'll be glad to provide those documentations and American jurisprudence from Miller and Prosser, exactly where the law comes from. Now, if they want to do that, that's fine. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's an illegal act. I'm doing my best I can to protect you, even your office, from going through this. Because my next goal is to start calling the newspapers and shit. Because now it's getting out of hand to the point, y'all, whoever seems to be pressing this issue, understand, you don't have no merits in no case. There's no law been broken. There's no victim. You trying to say society's the victim? Society better come in here and show me corpus delicti, corpus contractor. Show me the place of the contract. Show me the wrong. Show me the body of the crime. Produce the body. Then show me who signed for my detainment, because that's human trafficking right there. That's my point. Because I'm on record every time I go to court. I'm not in custody. I'm held without my liberties. I speak for myself. So when that tape get played back, you think a Fed, somebody that's trained to go through the mistakes and comb through the case, find it, you think they're going to find that there's not a precedent that I said, that I keep quoting precedents, not my personal feelings, precedents that hold up in court when there's a quo warranto, when there's a declaration of authority order, when there's a judge that sits there Monday through Friday, don't do nothing else. It was appointed by either a president or a senator or was elected. Without such, you are not a judge. You are a magistrate. And that has a limited authority. And seeing I'm not placing myself in authority, nor do I consent to subject matter jurisdiction be given to something that does not reach the qualification of a competent court under Article 3, Section 1. You have to have these documentations. And it's not a district court. Admiralty Maritime jurisdiction was given to district courts. And if it's not a district court, it doesn't have the documentation. So again, how am I going to be tried? Those are not my peers. Those are citizens that already agreed to certain laws and penalties. I haven't agreed to such. So where's this jury coming from? Then I had the right to sit there so I can look at these people. If I had any kind of questions, I could ask. Where's the paperwork that says I was comfortable with that happening? There's paperwork to go with that. There's paperwork that says when he got questioned, I should have been in the room. Or I signed a piece of paper. That's all missing. Or forged. This is what I'm going to be reviewing with the Justice Department. Anybody want to keep quoting some statutes that they making up by a bylaw of a corporation that has to admit that the parent corporation is a corporation? So again, those are employees. They ain't got nothing to do with no citizen. I will not be lied to. I will not be offered false justice. It is justice that I seek. I was wrong. And then the Arizona Article 2, Section 4, due process of law wasn't supposed to be held nowhere until no trial came up. Not unless by indictment, which definitely better be through a seal and a raised seal and a signature. If not, that's called fraud. So do you understand? And I understand this on various levels, and this is what I've been doing. I will gladly call you back and give you the agent that I'm about to speak to. Would you like that also? Because they're going to talk to you about your part. No. I will give you the agent's name after I file the paperwork. It's just the facts. It's within 21 days of the information that I'm going to tell him the Marshal Service can secure for me for this federal case. Then it's official. Then I'm going to give you his name because you're going to need it. But for that, just know it exists. And if you would like, I'll play the recording back. I'll give it to you. So it ain't no idle threat. I'm not threatening anyone. It is my exact liberties and law guaranteed, constitutionally protected, to be able to offer these services, to appeal to them, to tell them something was done wrong. And I'm going to tell you before I even enter in any more negotiations with these people that these are false. I've done my due diligence in here. So if they activate this, then my family will send you the rest of the documentation. And I will gladly give you their names too. See how they want to give me names and put names, so I'll do the same. It's fair. That's law. That's how it works. It's by evidence. So seeing how all evidence point that there's a crime being done and it wasn't me, won't be a law that I broke, but the law will say, no, I could have sat that bench because there's no fence and there's no sign that says I can't. Says I can't be in the park. And number two, he even lied about being in the park. The park is on 9th Street. The man body camera show he never went past 8th Street. So again, there's another lie. So she want to go to court with a lying witness, that's fine. And if they think, I'm going to tell you the final surprise. If they think I'm not going to talk for myself at a trial, then go ahead and put it on. I guarantee you, I will be the one talking. So I don't care who interviews who. It'll be different questions asked. That's a guarantee. That's my right to face my accuser at open court. Nah, ain't no court, nothing. You can't speak for the court. That'll be there and then. And if not, then there will be my family and the Federal Marshal Service and Moors and everything I need. And a sheriff willing to stand for me. So it can decide what it wants as a kangaroo court. You can speak for it all you like. That's assuming liability. That's a kangaroo court. Again, that I don't care what that court wants. That's got nothing to do with me. I will speak for my own self. That is it. I already know the precedents to quote. Whereas though if I'm not allowed to speak for myself, this is a mistrial, so it won't matter. And there will be witnesses there to it. So they don't matter. They can do whatever they like. They're just criminals. I already know that. And I have. But they felt comfortable putting you in there, and I told you, that's called a cat paw. And I told you I like you. You're a fighter. They will not take someone who fights and trying to fight a good fight and make them fight a bad fight. And then have you holding the bag. So just by you saying you want to associate yourself with me, okay, I don't associate myself with criminals, no criminal acts. So I'm going to keep you from doing the criminal act. They're not going to go through you and do a criminal act. That's not going to happen. Because you're saying you represent me. That means that marks me as a criminal. Why would I do that? I'm telling you, I want this woman to cease and desist before she gets a federal investigation. And if she think I can't produce it, just continue. It's fine. I will produce it. I have the paperwork. My family have it. We sitting there at our tribe. It will be my tribe that files the case, not my mother, not my sister. It will be my actual tribe. Therefore, you got to understand that's not a citizen. What I'm telling you, a Moor is going to go in there and claim me as a Moor. It's going to put through all the paperwork. Our Europeans know every piece of paperwork it knows. They put there and it says he's not a citizen. You are outside of your jurisdiction. Acting outside of your jurisdiction makes it unlawful. And I know the rest of the paperwork to charge you. So the same way they telling me, whatever deal, here's the deal. You don't want to go through a federal even inquiry. Don't got to make it to court. Same way they doing to me. Just the charge alone. How you going to survive when you've been charged with human trafficking? It don't matter if it sticks. It only matters if I can get the warrant for it. Saying this how I got paperwork that says if you remove my feet, and I gave them notice, lawful and legal, you move my feet, it's kidnapping, no warrant. So they got it, and it's on paper, so it's on record. And he has video of it, and I have video of it. So that's enough for the feds. That's enough right there. And when you at it, tell them you actually got a client that knows law. If you want to know about the 212 key, the code for kidnapping, the actual precedent for kidnapping, oh, it applies. Go look it up. American jurisprudence, lost property and everything. Go look it up. Even trying to sue me by the address is what I'm going to do to her with that fictitious address, to sue her by the address, adopt the person, but the person still has her page. So they can play games with me if they want. We at that stage. I ain't no cage now. I'm loose. And they can try to treat even everything, even try that. Oh, that's even better, because that's definitely kidnapping. Because I agreed to nothing. What I signed was I'm not going to agree to anything. UCC 2017, 2071. It's both of them. Go look them up. 3084, 1033. Go look them all up. Because they all apply as remedies to situations like such for malfeasance and torts. So I'm glad you called. I will be there tomorrow. I don't care about no down in Paris fee. I will be seeking. If not, I'll be putting in paperwork with DC, the Justice Department, the feds, and the rest of the people that need to hear from that. Because no one will falsely accuse me of anything that's a citizen. And I have been falsely accused, unlawfully detained, without a warrant, without a charge. It's a complaint. Until we even go to court, then it's a charge. So again, they can keep playing the line. Keep doing it on record. Simple words to question. Have a nice day. I understand. Have a nice day. That's all. I appreciate your time. I understand I'm a handful, but we talking about legal matters here. We talking about my life. A woman talking about locking me up with a bylaw for 2 years. It only applies to corporations. And I had one of those too. Okay, and you can call Justice Department and ask them, is that number on file as an inquiry? Whatever you need to ask them, because I've given them the case numbers and everything. I've done that much. So you can call, they definitely have to tell you that. Those are the rules. They left my name, you can tell them my name, all that, told them all that. Sovereign, all of it. Okay, you do that.